Hey, what's up, people? Biz out here. And today I want to talk to you guys about the film The Conspiracy, written and directed by Christopher McBride. And I first heard about The Conspiracy late last year. It sounded like a really interesting film, had a lot of good feedback, a lot of positive reviews. It was something that I definitely wanted to check out. But it kind of just fell off my radar. I never had a chance to check it out. And then Spanners Germ 669 did a review of it not long ago, and I'll put a link to his channel below. Very positive review, made the film sound even more interesting, and definitely put it on my to-do list. I tracked it down, I watched it, and I am very, very glad that I did because it is pretty darn good. The film revolves around two young documentary filmmakers named Jim and Aaron, and they hook up with a conspiracy theorist by the name of Terrence. And Terrence is the kind of guy who will go to a public place, get on his megaphone, and just tell everybody, you're a slave. You think you're free? You're not free. Everything is a conspiracy. Everything is this deep, dark, Byzantine conspiracy. And what at first sort of is almost a lighthearted sort of documentary that they're not really taking too seriously turns kind of dark when Terrence just abruptly disappears. He felt like he was being watched. He felt like he was being followed. And then all of a sudden, out of thin air, he's gone. Jim just kind of writes it off as, just a weird guy decided to take off and leave it at that. However, Aaron has been drawn into this world of conspiracy theories, and he just decides to pick up where Terrence left off. And all of these conspiracies that Terrence was working on, Aaron deciphers, all sort of circle around one central group, and that is a very secret society by the name of Tarsus. And only the most wealthy and powerful people are privy to the Tarsus Club. And this organization controls everything throughout the world. And basically what they want to do is they want to destroy every government and create one central new world order that they control. And the film progresses from there. The two try to infiltrate a secret Tarsus meeting, and doesn't quite go as planned. And what's really cool about this film is it blends elements of a faux documentary with a found footage kind of movie. And I've talked a lot about found footage movies on this channel and a little bit about faux documentary movies. And the thing about the found footage stuff, you have to have real characters, characters that seem real, that act like real people, that talk like real people, to sort of make the film feel real, as though it had really happened. And the characters Jim and Aaron, and that's actually the actors' real names, Jim and Aaron, do that perfectly. The film's very well written. Christopher McBride added this sense of realism throughout the film, to be perfectly honest, that you could easily sort of buy into and fall into the, forget the fact that, yes, it is, it is staged, it is contrived to feel real. It's staged and contrived to feel, to lend it this verite kind of feel. What's also really cool about the film is the character of Terrence. And the character of Terrence reminded me of a sociology professor that I had in college, who was kind of an out there kind of guy who many, many times I heard him say, "You think you're free? Oh, you think you're free?" Just totally reminded me of him. Terrence, the Terrence character, totally reminded me of him. Brought back a lot of good memories of hanging out with him and hearing him talk about a whole plethora of just strange topics. Not necessarily conspiracy based, but just he was one of those guys like, "Oh, you think you're free? Okay, yeah, you're free, all right." But in government, he used to say government. It's not a government, it's a government. G-U-B-M-E-N-T. Used to write on the board. Government. Yeah, good guy. Really had a lot of fun in his classes. But what's interesting about just all conspiracies in general, and of course the movie definitely buys right into this. It's like with any lie. Any good lie has a bit of truth in it to make it seem real. And of course, the bigger the lie, the more people will buy into it. That's the kind of the same thing with conspiracies. The more wild the conspiracy is, the more people will buy into it. And they talk about, the 9/11 conspiracy. They talk about the JFK conspiracy. Just all these conspiracies. How, World War I was more or less staged. I mean, they it was sold to the American public as, oh, well, they attacked us, when actually they didn't. And it was proven that, they didn't attack us first, even though it was reported in all the papers and the president ran with it and all that. It didn't happen. Same thing kind of with the Vietnam War. It was egged on by America to have the Vietnamese attack them so that they could get into it. Of course, the 9/11 conspiracies. Every conspiracy is larger than life. However, it's got a little bit of truth sort of sprinkled throughout. There's a little bit of sense added to the delusion that makes you not able to decipher delusion from reality. And that's how you sort of concoct a believable conspiracy theory, or a conspiracy theory that you can kind of meet halfway maybe. And the movie definitely acts on that. It's got all the best elements of a faux documentary and of a found footage film, I think. The characters are great. The writing is great. The last probably half hour of the movie is pretty intense when they infiltrate this Tarsus meeting. That was very, very well done. Everything leading up to that part was very, very well done. It's a great mystery. It's got a lot of elements of a thriller thrown in there. It's just a really well done, good film, and I highly, highly recommend it. A lot of interesting stuff going on there. It's the kind of movie definitely you watch and then you want to talk about. They throw elements out there about like Matthias and stuff like that I'd never heard of, that I researched afterwards and thought was very, very interesting. Which, if you haven't read about Matthias or Matthiasism, I forget exactly how that's pronounced. That's something very, very interesting to kind of look into, which is a secret society all of itself that they try and say was, Tarsus is sort of the 21st century version of Matthiasm. But really, really interesting stuff in the film. Definitely really good movie. I highly recommend it. If track it down. Just track it down, find it, rent it, buy it, watch it. I can't recommend it any higher. Really enjoyed this film. Very solid movie. Liked it a lot. Go watch it immediately. So, anyway, that was my review of The Conspiracy, written and directed by Christopher McBride. Highly recommend it. Go check it out. And until next time, you guys take it easy.